Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny Love with Jenny Love Journals. So today I am going to show you a new journal project that I'm starting, journals project that I'm starting. I'm actually going to make 3 journals because I'm going to have 2 of them for sale, and one of them I am gifting to my sister-in-law. First and foremost, I want to apologize to you guys for not putting out any content in over a week or so. I think the last video I did was the flip through of the Dr. Seuss junk journal that I did. But before that, my husband and I had to abruptly travel to upstate New York, where we are both from. As a lot of you know, I live in Southwest Florida, but both me and my husband were raised in upstate New York, and the majority of our family are still up in New York. And very sadly and unfortunately, my husband's uncle, who my husband was very close to, had suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. So it put a big halt on a lot of things. And when we got home, sorry, my voice is hoarse. When we got home, we had to basically catch up on a lot of things. And I wasn't sure exactly what the next journal project was that I wanted to do. So it took me some time to kind of figure it out. But as you guys can see here, I have some strawberries, but it's not just going to be strawberries. It's going to be the theme for all 3 journals is going to be like gardening journals, if you will, but not really flowers gardening, fruits, vegetables, harvesting and things like that. But the majority of the journals will consist of strawberries. And I'm going to go through everything with you that I have here that I am going to be using in the journals. And this is going to be video number 1 of this series. And so yeah, let's just go through everything and show you what I'm going to be using. First, I want to start off with the digitals that I'm going to be using in my signatures. Now, again, there's going to be 3 journals, and I'm going to have 2 signatures for each journal. So I have these separated into 3 for 3 journals, and then I'm going to obviously separate them into 6 because there's going to be 2 in all 3. I'm going to start with this one here. Now, these consist of 2 different creators or sellers on Etsy. The first one is what you're seeing here is the strawberry page. I believe this is Polka Dot Pixels. And like this one, for example, it comes from the Junk Journal Studio. And I will put the links down below in the description if you guys like what you see and you want to head over and grab those digitals for yourself. They are so beautiful. And I was going through Etsy for days trying to find the perfect digitals that I wanted to use that I had in mind for these journals, and these are the ones that I came across. So I did print a lot of these out. I believe I'm going to have 6 pages in each signature. And so I'm just going to show you front and back. I mean, I love the Polka Dot Pixels. I love the layering, the collaged layering that she did here. And of course, I also printed on the back. So I'm going to turn it this way because this is the way they're going to be. But I don't know, I fell in love with this kit. And now it's upside down. So I'm just going to go through. This one is the Junk Journal Studio, like I said. I love, love, love it. And we got some sunflowers here. Again, it's mostly going to be, like harvestables, but there are going to be some flowery pages. There's even going to be some bee pages as well, which I thought was pretty cute. Some of you know that I did a bee journal a few months ago, and I had so much fun making it. So I have some leftover fabrics and things like that from when I did the bee journal, and I can utilize those in this journal. I love the red gingham. Love the gingham pattern. Love the polka dot pattern and how it's aged looking. Here is another of the polka dot pixels. Okay, and that's the first bundle. And then for the second one, so cute. Look at the butterflies, caterpillars, ladybugs. Some more flowers. Like I said, there is going to be some flowery pages. There's the bees. Love the bees. And the size of these pages are US letter size, which is 11 by 8.5, I believe. I love the doily look going around. Some more of the gingham, some yellow gingham. Super cute, love this page. And here is, I believe, the polka dot pixels. The kit that I got from the polka dot pixels, I love that page, is just strawberries. I want to say it's called Strawberry Fields or something like that. But again, like I said, I will put the links down in the description for you guys, so you can go check it out for yourself. And this is going to go in the third journal. Love that page. Love the canning jar with the strawberries in that. What I like about these pages is, even though I'm using these for signature pages, which I believe is their original intent, you can cut them out into strips and make belly bands and things like that if you wanted to also, which I thought was pretty neat. Love this page with the strawberries, the bluebird, raspberries. I don't know what those, they're not, well, maybe they're kind of blue raspberry. They're obviously not blueberries or blackberries. Don't know. Love this with the bows down at the bottom. Some yellow gingham. Very bright, happy colors, which I am all for. Basket weave. Some more bee pages. Honeycomb on the back with the yellow and orangey gingham. Super cute. Some more sunflowers. Love this one. Love how detailed it is and just the bright poppy colors. All right, and that is for the third journal. And of course, I will separate these into 6 each because, like I said, there's going to be 6 in each signature. But it's not just going to be those in the signatures. I also have these pages that I pulled that I'm going to collate with these so that they are all, you know, the same same size. I'm running out of room here. I need more room. My husband and I are actually in the process of figuring out ways to rearrange my craft room and buy more shelving units and things like that so that I have more space, because I have a lot on my desk right now. And well, everything that's on my desk is organized because I'm a very organized person. It's still like in my way, you know, because I accumulate so much and acquire so much. And while I craft pretty much on a daily basis and I use everything that I acquire, I seem to acquire faster than I can use. I'm sure most of you can relate to that. So a lot of things end up in baskets and, you know, bins and things like that on my desk. So while it's great to have a lot of things within arm's reach, it's literally getting in my way. So we have to figure out what to do about that. Okay, so these are pages that I pulled that I'm going to be including in with the digitals for the signatures. This is a vintage paper that came out of a very vintage book. You guys have seen this book before. I've showed you, and I've used these papers in several other journals. I have them going like this because I separated them for each signature. This is out of a vintage 1942 book, The Bayberry Bush. This is a piece of my digital tea-stained paper. As some of you know, I do have digitals in my Etsy shop of tea-stained pages, just in case you don't have the time to tea dye your own. You can get the digitals right there. Actually, I'm just going to put these upside down over here. This is a digital. I believe I got this from KB and Friends. And I love how the lines go this way rather than this way. This is a coffee dyed lined school paper that I coffee dyed several months ago, and I had a bunch of it left over. And going into the next one, here's another piece of the vintage paper and the book page. This is, I liked the colors. You know, it matches with like the berry theme and some of the flowers in the kit. This is Angela Kerr's digital, and it's I don't know the name of it, but it's obviously a lacy pattern. So I fell in love with that. Here's another of the tea stained. And this is grid paper digital that I purchased and printed from KB and Friends. A doily, of course. You cannot make a gardening slash harvestable slash strawberry journal without putting in a doily. This is a good size doily, so I'm just going to tie it into the signature. And this is another piece of the coffee dyed lined paper. Another vintage notebook paper and book page. By the way, these are, they spread open like this. It's not just this book page, so it'll spread open nicely in the signature. Some more tea stained paper in front and back. Some more of the lined paper. Obviously more coffee dyed. Excuse me, my voice. And here we go with some more. This basically, a lot of it is repetitive. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But again, there's going to be a total of 6 signatures. 3 journals, 2 signatures each. So I wanted to kind of even it up some, you know, some of them. Like, I believe 3 of the signatures, for example, have doilies, where 3 of them don't. This I got out of a 1926 Better Homes and Gardens magazine. You can see there, February 1926, Planting the Small Vegetable Garden. And it's a whole write-up on planting a vegetable garden. While on the back, there's pictures of like old houses and things like that, which is still pretty cool. I decided to, instead of cutting this up, because I wanted to keep all of this, I'm just going to tie this into the signature and make it part of one of the signatures. Some more page. So you guys get the idea. This was the back cover of the 1926 Better Homes and Gardens magazine. And this is an old Jell-O ad. And she's got like cherries and things on top of the Jell-O. And I just thought it was really cool. And on the back, it's about cherries, all kinds of cherries. Let us assist you in making your dream a fruitful garden come true. And there's like an old order blank on the bottom so that you can order some of the Stark Seeds books, Glorious Fruits for Your Garden. And I thought that this was so cool. So I'm going to incorporate this instead of cutting it up, because I really like this. I'm going to incorporate this into the signatures. And as you guys can see, a lot of the same. There's another doily. This is like a crepe paper, but it's like a very thick crepe paper. I got a huge pack of these at Ollie's, I want to say. I got a pack. There's like white and pink and yellow. And I love this color. It's, you know, kind of strawberry-ish. So I'm going to tie this in one of the signatures as well. So those are the additional pages that are going to be incorporated in the signatures along with the digitals. So there is that. There's going to be obviously quite a few pages. Let's see, where do I put these? Quite a few pages. So they're going to be some pretty thick journals. You guys know I love when my journals are nice and chunky. All right, now I have this bin full of ephemera and envelopes and pockets, and I cut a lot of these out with my Cricut. Some of them, actually, I cut several of them out with my Cricut, everything that you're seeing in here. And yes, guys, there is a lot. They came from both Polka Dot Pixels and the Junk Journal Studio. Lots and lots and lots. I mean, so much that I can use to decorate and, you know, embellish. But there's one downfall when it came to the kit from the Junk Journal Studio. While the kit is absolutely gorgeous and I wouldn't mind using it again, if you purchase it and you use your Cricut to cut out your ephemera and your envelopes and your pockets and things like that, you're going to find yourself having a tough time using your Cricut on those ones specifically, because the way that the kit was made, everything wasn't outlined with, you know, like the black outline or whatever, making your Cricut smoothly cut across. Everything has like a bleed, if you will, like a bleed color on the outside of everything. So your Cricut the whole way across every single piece, and it tears up some of the pieces. It makes them like a little jagged. It takes a really long time to get them cut out because, like I said, they're not just smoothly going along the lines. It's like, you know what I mean? Just going like this the whole time. I'm assuming it's because they used kind of like a bleed on the edges of everything. I don't know. So after a while, I got kind of frustrated and I said, all right, I'm just going to print them out regular and cut them by hand. And it literally took me like 3-4 hours to cut out the remaining ephemera by hand, which, you know, I really didn't mind. I just sat here and listened to my audiobook and did it. But just word to the wise, if you decide to purchase this kit and you cut your ephemera out using a Cricut, you're better off just printing them out and cutting them out by hand, honestly. And like these ones came from Polka Dot Pixels for the Strawberry Journal. These cut out beautifully on my Cricut. Nice, smooth, straight lines, done in minutes. And that's what I prefer, honestly. Here's some more pockets. Super cute. You guys know that I'm a pocket junkie when it comes to my journals. Lots more ephemera pieces. As you can see, lots of journaling cards. I mean, there's so much in these kits. This one is like from Polka Dot Pixels, for example. I love the layering. I love it. And there's several pieces in here that are like that. But yeah, I mean, you guys get the idea. And there's a lot, guys. Between the two kits, there's so much ephemera. They even have like these little ticket strips, things like that. Page tabs. These are, most of these actually are tags. And let's see, there is a set in here. Yeah, right here. that I put eyelets in because they already had the holes. And when, you know, your Cricut cuts it out, it cuts out the holes for you. And so I just put the eyelets. I put some green eyelets, some red eyelets. There's more, I think. Yeah, right here. With some red eyelets. So I figured I would get a little ahead of myself and put those in there and get them ready for some seam binding or some baker's twine. Lots and lots of tags. Tons of tags. There's these cute, super cute mason jars. Can use these as pockets or tuck spots, or even journaling cards to put in pockets, obviously. And then we have like bigger, if you will, bigger like journaling cards, like faux postcards. Some of them are every which way, upside down and downside up. I love it. And then see, they're all like upside down. There's some like recipe cards, several of those. I think, oh, that's a sunflower one. Here's another recipe card, cinnamon roasted butternut squash. Lots and lots, as you guys can see, lots going on here for the larger cards. And then we have, like, this is a large pocket here. This should be over here with the pockets. And another large pocket. I don't know why I had those over with the envelopes, but it's okay because here are some of the envelopes that I have to assemble. Big, big envelopes. And then these, I fell in love with these. These are seed packets, obviously. And you print them out and you assemble them. And I inked them up and assembled them. Super duper cute. I actually seen these on a post on Facebook in one of the junk journaling groups that somebody had put these in their Etsy shop, and I immediately went over and grabbed them. I was like, oh my god, I am making gardening journals. I have to have them. And these are from, let me see if I'm saying this correctly. I have it written down here. Lily Fee the Paper W is where these came from. And again, I will put the link in the description so that if you like them, you can go over and grab some. It has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of them, I believe, if I count correctly. And I printed every single one of them. And trust me when I say I will use them. All right, so fabrics, guys, fabrics. I pulled several, several different fabrics because I'm really unsure with this one. I'm gonna have to play around. As you guys know, I cover pretty much every single journal with fabric. I'm making, again, 3 journals, so I want to maybe do like a fabric-y collage on the front of 1 or 2 of them. So like I said, I pulled, these are from Fat Quarters, this one here. I haven't even used it yet, but I thought it was really pretty and I thought it would go really well with what I'm doing. This one too, since there was some sunflower pages as well. And then this is some leftover fabric I had when I did the bee journals. And as you guys know, there are some bee pages in the kit. This is actually the fabric I used to cover my last bee journal that I made. And I had quite a bit left over. So I pulled this. Obviously, you have to have the red and white gingham when you're doing a gardening journal. That's a given. So I pulled that. Here's another bee pattern. Not sure if I'm going to use all of these, but I pulled them just in case. Here's some strawberries. Obviously, we're gonna be using this. We have to, because there's a lot of strawberries in those journals. The majority of the fruits and vegetables are the strawberries. Here's some cherries. We'll probably definitely be using some of this. Love this, and it feels so nice. It's like such a soft fabric. We have some of this flower print with the polka dots. We have it in both blue and pink and pink. These are actually left over from a few other journals that I've done in the past. When I did the Book Lover's Bliss Angela Kerrs kit, I used this one. And then when I did a journal for a friend of mine, the Timeless Treasures, I believe I used this one. And these are just the leftovers. And then here's some more bee pattern. So yeah, these are the fabrics that I pulled, and I'm thinking about making a video soon with you guys going through my fabrics and reorganizing, because I have so much fabric. And if you've ever seen my craft room tour video, you'll know that I store my fabrics in like a cabinet under my extension desk that's over this way, because I have two desks that go together and they span across the whole room, like the whole wall. And there's a cabinet under one of them, and I just throw my fabrics in there. So when I'm doing a new project, I have to sit on the floor and pull every fabric, every bundle out and every piece out to see what I'm going to need or what I can use. And so I need to find a better way to organize my fabrics so that I don't have to go to great lengths to see what I can utilize. All right, so those are the fabrics that I have. Let's see, what do I have? I have some stuff over here that I pulled. I have some doilies, some cute red doilies, white doilies, yellow, and like a mint green. I didn't have like a dark green doily. I wish I did, honestly. But that's what I grabbed. Anyway, I might go on Amazon and order like a darker green. This is just some like textured paper that I pulled that I can use to make some ephemera or to back journaling cards and things like that. And I thought they were really cool. And I have tons more of these, like tons more. These are just the few that I pulled. In case I need more, I can grab more. This is a little notebook I have. It's got some flowers and some ladybugs on it. So we can put a few of these in some pockets. These are some stickers, like gardening stickers. We have like a tomato up here and some gardening gloves and some carrots and a watering can and some gardening tools and things like that I thought were cute. These are some fruit stickers. Might use those. I really like these little label stickers, so I might use some of these too. And the only reason why I pulled this one out is because it's got strawberries. There's like some watermelon, some more strawberries down here. So while this is more of like a summery theme sticker pad or sticker sheet, I really pulled it out for the strawberries. So we can use those. What else? Let's see. There is more cutting dies for my Big Shot. I pulled these out to make pockets. Like, I love these because I can do these on the edge. Like, I can cut out pockets and then cut these along the top edge to give them like a scalloped edge or a cool design on the top. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. And then this is like the same thing. These are for the tops of pockets. And I think they're super cute. Some of them are upside down, but you get the idea. And then these are actual pockets. So I'm going to be cutting some of these out. I think I'm going to probably do that today. And then in the next video for this series, we'll decorate those pockets. Let's see, what else do we got? I got some more over here. All right, these are some things that I collected. I cut these pieces out of vintage magazines. Obviously, that's a very large serving of strawberry shortcake, which looks absolutely delicious. And I already cut it out and I backed it onto textured cardstock. We can use it as a pocket, and I did the same thing with this one. This beautiful, yummy looking strawberry cake. And then I had a gardening book, which I've showed you guys before. And what I did was cut out all of the like fruits and vegetables that they had featured, like raspberries, and I backed them onto this green cardstock. We have raspberries, cherries, corn, cabbage, squash and pumpkin, blueberries, peppers, broccoli, cucumbers, carrots, apples, blackberries, and Brussels sprouts. And like I said, I backed those onto cardstock. We can use some of the bigger ones for pockets and some of the smaller ones for journaling cards. Thought those were pretty neat. And there was even still more. That's not even all of them. I cut out like the majority of them. This was actually in the 1926 Better Homes and Gardens magazine, How to Grow Cucumbers. And it's like a whole article on how to grow cucumbers. So I cut it out and I backed it onto the green cardstock. We can slide it into one of the pockets. This is some vintage ephemera that I backed onto vintage construction paper. I keep dropping things. Oh my gosh. We got the True Blue Seeds ad. The Thos Horton something, I don't know. Small fruits. Get this. Seeds, things like that. Those would be cute for journaling cards. I cut this out of the 1926 magazine. I plan on backing this and using it for like a pocket. I cut a lot of things out that I plan on backing to use for pockets and journaling cards. Strawberry plants, extra fine grape plants, fruit trees, anything that has to do with gardening. This I thought was really cool. This is a diagram of how the majority of houses used to look back then with their gardening. Like you'd walk out the side or back door and you'd have your main backyard. And then over here you would have your like courtyard or whatever, where you'd have all of your flowers and things like that planted. And then you'd walk under your trellis into your vegetable and fruit garden. And that's how a lot of places were set up back then when it came to yards and gardens and things like that. So I cut that out of the vintage catalog. And a lot of like seed advertisements that I cut out. Strawberries. Lots and lots of stuff. Healthy, wealthy, and wise. Do more home canning this year. Some ball jars. Because as you know, gardening does lead to canning. So you guys get the idea. I cut a lot of these out, and like I said, I will be backing them onto cardstock. This is just the leftover pages that I got out of a vintage Betty Crocker, I think, magazine or book, where I cut out the strawberry shortcake and stuff like that. So I just kind of had that sitting there. These are some scrapbook papers that I've gathered that I'm going to use to make some of the pockets with the die cuts, journaling cards, backing, things like that. And these are the ones that I pulled that I thought would look interesting in the type of journals that I'll be making. I have so much scrapbook paper, like so much. That's another thing that I need to figure out how to better organize. Because I have shelves of scrapbook papers. I have boxes of scrapbook papers. Like I literally sat on the floor the other day for over an hour going through all my scrapbook papers just to pull these few. Just to pull these few, because I have so many and it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, here is the crepe paper that I told you that I purchased. petal paper is what it's called, but it's, you know, it's more or less like a crepe paper. Here's like, they got light pink and like a peachy pink. And then I got these at Ollie's for $1.99. So if you have an Ollie's near you, like, go see if they have it, because it's really, really nice and it's very thick. There's 30 sheets. It's 12 by 12. These are the yellow, and there's some white in there. So yeah, definitely worth the $2. I also got these. This is textured cardstock. I don't know how well you can see. There you go. You can see how textured it is. Very thick. I purchased 2 of these, like a pinkish color and a dark red, so that I can use these to back a lot of things. Like, for example, as you know, this is open. I used one of these to back these. So that's why I got those. I have a few more things over here. Let's see. I pulled these. These I had in my stash for a long time. I believe, yes, these are stickers. I just got some tomatoes and corn and carrots and beets. And some strips that we can put along the edges of pages. Here's some more stickers. We got some strawberries, pears, cherries, grapes, apples, peaches, watermelon, some ladybugs, some more strawberries, some cute little quotes. And then these are just extra pages that I had printing from the kits that I didn't end up putting in the signatures, but I do plan on using them to make pockets and things, our little projects, to put in the journals. How cute are those? All right, I believe that's it. You know, I'll also obviously pull other things here and there as I am working for whatever it is that I'll be needing. But yeah, that's a lot. I'm pretty sure that I have enough to do 3 journals, maybe even 4, honestly, because there's so much here. But I'm going to stick to 3 because, like I said, 2 of them will be going in my Etsy shop for sale, and 1 of them I will be gifting to my sister-in-law. She lives in upstate New York, and her husband have this big piece of property where they grow lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. And we were able to see it when we were in New York last week. And I said, you know what? They were so kind to us when we went to New York to be with family. And I said, I want to repay her by making her a nice gardening journal. She can, you know, journal about her garden and about, you know, her planting and her harvests and her canning, because she does canning and stuff too. So I'm excited. I'm super excited to get these done, and I will be doing them along with you guys. So stay tuned, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a great big thumbs up. Share it out to family and friends who you think would enjoy it, of course. And I know some of you are probably eager to hear about my doctor's appointments that I was telling you guys about that I had, that I was very nervous about. I did have them. And in the next video, when we're actually sitting and working, I can tell you all about that, because there's some things. There's some things, guys. Not bad things. Not bad things. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.